Shalom. Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And we're going to go in the news, linking the things that are happening, all right, throughout the planet Earth, all right, to biblical prophecy, all right, so that the elect, all right, can make sense of it all right, as we're living in perilous times. And as you see, the man of sin has been revealed and is getting ready to come down with great wrath. And people make light of that notion in biblical prophecy, which is associated or synonymous with Jacob's trouble, all right, where our enemy is going to come down with great wrath because he's at the very end of his blessing. All right, and you have to remember, all right, what did Esau say, when, Jacob got the blessing? He said, the days of my father Isaac are at hand, and I'm going to slay Jacob. All right. And, Jacob and his mother thought up a scheme, and he fled, for about 21 years before he met back up with Esau. And Esau was calm. All right. Everything was straight. But as you go throughout history in the Bible, all right, the back and forth between, starting with Cain and Abel, all right, and Esau and Jacob, as the scriptures talks about, the seed of the serpent having enmity with the seed of the woman. The seed of the serpent fulfilled in the Edomites, the seed of the woman fulfilled in the chosen servant of the Most High, right? The word woman means servant. The nation of Israel are the servants, the wife, the bride of the Most High through Yahweh Shai. And we are to serve him and serve no other God. Now, the powers that be, have it in their mind that you're going to bow to them, all right, and they're going to excommunicate, all right, the plan of the Most High, which is to set his only begotten Son on his holy mountain, all right, out of Jerusalem, the garden eastward in Eden. The elect will be returned under who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the second Adam, all right, back to the promised land, all right, and establish a government at Jerusalem, all right, and as we part inheritance amongst the 12 tribes, all right, the 144,000, all right, then you have the large multitude, and then we go throughout the whole entire planet Earth and establish paradise, all right, which that's what the earth lacks, under the rulers and the powers that be. Nothing but death has been uplifted, all right, and creation is responding. And as we have here, we talk about the World Economic Forum, where you have these unelected officials. You didn't vote for any of them, all right, making decisions for your future and how the earth is going to be ran, and telling you, all right, of the changes that, all right, in the change in world, the new world that they plan to bring, which in the grand scheme of things, they want to reinvent the wheel, all right, and make, reinvent the earth and man in their own image. They're already doing it with the foods, They've recreated, the will, genetically altered everything. And now, for their final science project, they plan on merging, man with machine for their new world. And this will be what is considered a human in the days to come. The old way of being a human is out. All right, so when you hear these devils talk about new world, as we're getting ready to play this, as they're at this World Economic Forum, which happens to be in Davos, Switzerland, right? And Davos means son of David. All right, when you look it up, there you have it. All right, British meaning son of David. All right, Davos comes from more than a popular name, David. It means son of David and beloved. So what do you think they're saying on the left hand side, all right, when we know that they're not truly for the son of David, well, they're creating a system to X him out. They're creating a system to X out the son of David, okay, and to establish themselves as the gods of the earth, all right, and to make a new will, all right, which if they can, merge everybody with machine and create a new man, then nations no longer exist. Prophecy is offset. I mean, the scriptures talks about how the heart is deep, you see, but here at Davos, at the World Economic Forum, they're discussing the plans for the new world, and he's going to make a statement that I want you to hear. And again, this is at the highest point in Europe, so this is a high place, and they only show you so much. They're going to show you what's on it, they're going to give you a little bit to work with, but what they're talking about is really not being recorded. And as we got to get Jacob, and you can see the 3 zeros in the World Economic Forum logo with the lines through them, all right, which is the number that the Most High told us to look out for when it came to the wicked. Okay, let's get the book of, let's see here. Let me see. Let's get the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. And this is not medical advice. We're just going in the news. And I just got an opinion through the Spirit. So this is Revelation 13. And 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, charagma, which is a physical thing, okay, in their right hand or in their foreheads, okay? And we see that happening in the world that we're looking at right before us. People are already doing this. It just hasn't become a mandated law, all right? But with the right catastrophic event, they can definitely institute, because they're already, after the 2020 fiasco with the the vid, what did that bring about? More digital, okay, more of a digital system where people will be tracked. So what can they do to bring forth this charagma, all right? Well, John the Revelator is seeing them institute this, and he said that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which the number associated with his name, which if you, bow the knee and take his mark, you've put his name on you. The ancient branding system was the slave master putting his name on his product, you see? And the product, the cattle within the grand scheme of things, is how these elites look at it, as you people, okay? And they want to put a digital mark, a digital brand. You look at old slave movies when particular slaves ran away. Even in Rome, if you were a runaway slave or try to escape, they would put a brand or a tattoo on your forehead, all right, or a brand, so that if you ever run away again, all right, they know who it belongs to, all right? And in the grand scheme of things, you're the cattle, you see? And the world that we're coming into, the only way you'll be able to live, okay, to have a regular life, is that you merge yourself into this new world, okay, which people like us won't be around. They don't want us to be around, all right? But those who survive, whatever they bring, that's what they're going to be on. They're going to be cyborgs. They're going to be transhuman. They're going to have moved past the talking point of what is human. They've transcended that. So the number of his name says this in the NLT: wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast. It is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, that we have victory over the beast, his image and his mark. as it is written. All right. And when we go into the meaning of this, all right, you see that X, all right, which X has become a theme of this devil's what he got going on. Okay, you see the X, Chi, which is the first three letters in anointed Christ or Christos. Chi, all right, the X, all right, as we always go into, they plan on Xing out the anointed. Okay, Psi, and then stigma, all right, which the Psi goes into. We always show you, the uppercase Psi is the three lines, which in the Tesla logo you see the E, those three lines, that goes back to the Chi. I mean the Xi, which is this squiggly character there. Various technological companies bear that. All right, Xi as their logo. Even in the Biden Kamala Harris logo, you seen the E. Okay, was actually the three lines. Which, let's see, we can pull it up for you. All right, as you can see, those three lines right there, that is the uppercase. That's the uppercase way of doing this. So, and you notice that that Xi is used a lot, as you can see here. And the owner of Tesla just changed the name of Twitter to X. They now have Disease X. Okay, so what John the Revelator is describing here to us, all right, you have the Chi, Psi, and then you have stigma, which stigma, let's get it real quick. All right, stigma, a mark pricked or branded upon the body to ancient Oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name of their stamp, all right, and of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. All right, and that this whole system has only been upgraded. That which is then is now. Okay, this is basically Hellenization, all right, in a technological sense. And it all deals with idol worship, all right, the rebellion, Satanism. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. I mean, people are already doing it here. But as you can see here, it says recognition of ownership. Okay? Recognition of ownership. See, under this world, human beings had too many rights. The ability to do this, that. All right? In the new world, all of that freedom to go and pick the, apples off of a tree and plant and, live on the earth, that all of that is over with. And they're gonna own you. Okay? So when we deal with these devils in this talking point of a new world, give me a second here. Let's bring it back up. Check this out. I say all that to say this. All right, when you see the 666, you see the line going through the zeros or the O's. That's the man of sin. But let's listen to what they're talking about.
That order seems to not be the order anymore. We are on the way to a new order, so we are between orders. Do you agree with that, or are there ways of what are we able to keep on the positive side from the old order?
And look at these devils, man. You can just look and see that these are some sick people, man. All right? These are sick. And again, who voted for these people? Who put them in position to dictate, you know, how the world is going to be ran in the future? Well, if you really want to know the answer, the Most High gave them that power, and they will boast themselves in that power to the point where now they're, as we're getting ready to go into, they're trying to X out the Son of the Most High and establish themselves as gods on the earth and you know, live forever. Okay?
Do you think there is an upper limit to human aging?
Well, I know there isn't.
You know there is not.
Yeah, we've been able to extend the lifespan of every species that we've tried to extend the lifespan of, and we're no different from those species. There is no law that says we must age. Remember that. We've made a major breakthrough in our understanding of not just why we age, but also how to control that process. We needed to know if it was safe. It's very safe. It's a gift to humanity. It's already here. In the next 18 months or 2 years, testing our first age reversal clinical trial in humans. The whole brain is reversible. We haven't published this, so you've heard it here first. You will be able to rejuvenate your brain and get back memories, get your ability to learn again. I haven't injected myself yet. I think it's a universal process of biology to be able to be reset. A whole body reset is coming. You can reset multiple times. On come these repair genes. Your nerves regrow, your spine regenerates. What we want to do is we want to turn those gene therapies into a pill. I already have some molecules in the lab that show signs of age reversal.
These devils are sick. And they're boasting in a very, very proud thing. It's not like a low level thing, but let's keep listening.
Order to bring into a new world order, and how can we avoid that new world order becomes like jungle growing back, and we rather have order based on international law and the principles that have brought us prosperity and freedom for decades.
I guess, and maybe this is the old kind of teacher in me coming out. I think of this a little bit more about a transition of eras rather than a transition of orders, but the two are kind of cousins of one another. The reason I draw the distinction is because I don't think the international order built after 1945 is getting replaced wholesale with some new order. It will obviously evolve as it has evolved multiple times over the decades since 1945. But I do think in a more sharp and distinctive way, we are moving into a new era, and that's what I talked about in my remarks, that we are, the post-Cold War era has come to a close. We're at the start of something new. We have the capacity to shape what that looks like, and at the heart of it will be many of the core principles and core institutions of the existing order, adapted for the challenges that we face today.
That order seems to know.
All right, and we're going to get into some of the challenges that they're bringing about, pestilence, all manner of confusion. But let's get a scripture here real quick. In the book of Psalms, the 2nd chapter, speaks a lot to the situation we're looking at. Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? Is not this a vain thing that the heathen are imagining? Meanwhile, you got Jake, all right, every week, all right, standing up in the camera, all right, making a case for the heathen to be saved, but the heathen are planning on Xing out the Son of the Most High. That's what the whole 666 agenda is all about. All right, recreating man in their image, making you into a scannable, trackable, traceable product, barcode. All right, for their new world. And every transaction, everything will be on the grid. Everything. This new world gives them God-like capability and control. So why do the heathen rage? They're raging right before our eyes. All right. And they knew that this would get out. They knew people would be talking. But we're in the time where the Lord is stirring things up. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed. And who's his anointed? That's Yahweh Shai. Okay? Yahweh Shai and the elect, who've been anointed, all right, as the first fruits and always special and dear to the Most High, man. Starting with his only begotten Son, whom we do worship. We bow to his Son. We the way you bow to the Most High is through bowing to his Son, because you have to go through his Son. He's the mediator. So for you to even, if you, which you're not going to get to the Most High, but for you to even think who would you have to go through under the first covenant was the high priest. All right, which was Aaron and his sons. So under this grace period leading into this new covenant, our way to the Father is Yahweh Shai. We would first have to bow to his Son in order to get the favor of the Father, right? But we live in a very disrespectful and rebellious world. Not only are the heathen bucking up against the Most High's anointed, Israelites are. Okay, this is the anti-Messiah, as we talked about. Okay, the Antichrist. Antichrist. This is one word. This is the world we live in. This is an anti-Messiah. All right, 1 John 2:18, little children, it is the last time, and ye have heard that anti-Messiah shall come. Even now are there many anti-Messiahs, whereby we know that it is the last time. And this is really talking about Israelites who are against the Son of the Most High. Okay, but the whole world, the world we live in is anti-Messiah. All right, they've pretty much bred people to rebel against the Son. From a child up, you've been taught to rebel against the Son of the Most High in so many ways that are very subtle. So the rulers of the earth are taking counsel together, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Cut off, all right, the slavery to the Most High, because that's what they look at it as. Us being under this old way, we're slaves to God. We have to wait for him to grow a fruit. We have to wait for the process of nature. We don't want, that's old. We can make our own bees. We can do this. We can make our own fruit. We can make seedless fruit. We can do this. We can do that. And as a result, everybody's sick. All right. But you got a cell phone. You know, technology and knowledge has increased, but the people have got significantly more stupid, right? So as you read in the NLT, it says, let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to the Most High. And that's the doctrine of the serpent. Okay, you shall not surely die. You don't have to walk in that way. Okay, you can walk in your own way. You could, you should not surely die. See? And that's what they want to do. They want to ultimately undermine the authority of the Most High and establish themselves as the gods of the earth through technology. See? They want to cut off the connection of the chosen people. All right? He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. All right? NLT, for the Lord declares, I have placed my chosen king on the throne in Jerusalem, and on my holy mountain, right, which is Yahweh Shai. And this system that we're currently witnessing, as it talks about in the book of Daniel, the 11th chapter, all right, through his policy, which is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. But this is the mindset that they had during Hellenization, is the mindset that they're coming with, how you're going to bow to this new idol today, which is that charagma. Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, which is mine, and by peace shall he destroy many. All right, the catastrophic events that they're getting ready to bring, all right, what they're going to offer is a form of salvation that has nothing to do with the Lord, that has nothing to do with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and many of our people are going to fall for it. The pseudoscience of that controls this world. Okay? So by peace, he's going to destroy many, and he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, which is Yahweh Shai, but he shall be broken without hand. Okay? So you devils are going to lose. Again, this is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, but the same mindset applies, as we know the scriptures say that which is then is now. So let's go to a video real quick. All right, Redacted with Clayton Morris and Natalie Morris. The WEF and the gates of hell are doing it again, and they're not even hiding it.
Well, researchers in China have discovered a strain of coronavirus that caused 100% mortality due to late-stage brain infection. They know this because they put it in humanized mice and played with it.
Now, what is a humanized mice? Real quick, I forgot to bring this one up as well. AI takes center stage at Davos. AI takes the shine away from crypto at Davos. Matthew Lane, the greatest risk in respect of AI is failing to utilize it effectively for the huge potential benefits it can bring for a global society where everybody is globally linked, okay, and governed by AI, right? And by this, they can, certain terms and, can be rooted out of the earth. They can persecute people with certain beliefs and eventually, root everybody out that's against them. And that's what they plan on doing. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this out. Now back to those humanized mice. What is a humanized mice? What is a humanized mice? It's like, why is it always all these mice? It worked on it whenever they bring about a new invention or some type of something that can help humans. It's always, well, it worked on a rat. It worked on the mice. How are they able to just use all of these mice and for all of these different, tests and, as their guinea pigs? All right, to just work wickedness on, man. But this is the devil. Meanwhile, everybody's looking for a boogeyman.
They messed around and found out. Humanized mice, you guys, we're going to get to what that is in a second. This is, to be clear, gain of function research. When you have something and you mess around with it to see what happens, that's basically gain of function. It's happening in China. It is incredibly dangerous. Could this be the disease X that the Davos crowd is going to discuss this week at the World Economic Forum? Recall last week we went over the Davos agenda that's happening. It just started today. And we found this panel called Preparing for Disease X. AstraZeneca's CEO will be on the panel, so will Dr. Tedros from the World Health Organization. They're saying disease X could be 20 times more fatal than COVID. And so they're prepping for it. They don't know what it is, but they know it will be more fatal. Is that a wish list?
Right. How do they know that it's going to be more fatal? I mean, it's like the Congress passed a bill recently about disease X. Like U.S. Congress back about 6 months ago passed a resolution on disease X.
Okay.
For the rollout and preventability of this highly deadly disease.
We don't know what it is yet.
We know it's coming.
But they're preparing us. They're tempering our expectations with fear. So the WHO is warning about.
Basically, they're prophesying on the left-hand side. Y'all like, nigga, you got disease X. Nah, I just got a little sick, Pray for me. But, yeah, they basically prophesying on the left-hand side, Before it comes forth, they tell you of it, They're basically trying to speak their victory and what they want into existence.
This. And again, they want to solve this, it says here, with collaborative surveillance. That's what they think they need. And in fact, today, something that Tony Blair had said is we need to know who's been vaccinated and how many times, because you need to keep getting vaccinated all the time. And we need to know how many vaccines the people. need to know how many vaccines the people you're talking to and around you are in buildings. We're going to bring you that clip later this week because he's got some balls. He's got some bullocks to say that. Or I'd like to say it differently. Can I just rewind? That's bullocks.
Huevos?
No, I really want to pull off the bullocks.
Okay, do it.
That's
Okay, do it.
total bullocks. Total bullocks.
No, that's not. You make fun of me for my like British accents. That's I don't know.
It's bullocks.
No,
I really want to be able to pull that off. I'll work on it. Okay, you know what else is bullocks? I'm going to tell you what else is bullocks. This paper here that I'm about to show you. This paper comes out of China, just early January 2024, showing that scientists accidentally found a strain of COVID that was 100% fatal in transgenic mice. Hold your questions about transgenic mice. See here, they're warning about the spill.
Transgenic mice. All right. Again, they're trying to do a transhuman. They're trying to recreate, man in their image, right?
Over risk, but that's only a concern because it was created in the first place. If they hadn't created it, they wouldn't have to worry about it spilling because it otherwise did not exist. This is not like Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Like, it didn't exist and now it exists, and that makes it a danger. When it did not exist, there was no risk of observing a spillover, right? Now, it didn't seem like they created on purpose. They were doing gain of function research, which basically means they were manipulating diseases. They found this one in a pangolin. This is a pangolin. Look how cute he is. Dr. John Campbell's channel about this, he claims that the pangolin is a highly abused species in laboratories. For whatever reason in China, they like to experiment on this guy.
So the heathen got to be stopped. All right? To hell with this talk, the heathen could be. So the heathen need to be stopped. Okay, the Moabites, the Edomites, the Hamites, the Japhites, all of them got to be stopped. Even Israelites, the 2/3, got to be stopped.
I don't like that.
He's like he's a living dinosaur. He looks like a little, what is it? What's the one that has the tail with the ball in the tail? I used to love those.
Well, he looks like he's doing an Oliver Twist sort of. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah.
You're going to experiment on me.
Please don't experiment on me.
Can I
like
have a
it.
biscuit? Can I have a biscuit, please?
It's total bollocks. Okay, so this little guy had some COVID, basically the pangolin. They took it out and they cloned it in a lab, and then they put it into transgenic mice. Now, what is that? That is humanized mice. This is mice that is injected with human DNA to see how they react and if they can maybe extrapolate what happens to the mice with what would happen in a human. Here's how one laboratory that uses these explains it, that you can, target specific genes to a study. You can replicate certain characteristics. Basically, we can experiment on them and it's all good. And we can extrapolate, like I said, what happens to humans. Now, I just wonder, given that we're making these humanized mice, are we worried that they might mutate? Ever heard of Master Shredder?
Right.
I'm just curious.
Shredder?
or not
Splinter,
Shredder.
you mean
Master
Splinter.
Splinter,
Master
yes.
Splinter,
Yes.
right? Is this a concern? Humanized mice? Anybody? No? Okay. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. If humanized mice is a thing
I didn't think we were gonna get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference into
And
the
a
show.
wrong one, too, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm very excited that we did.
Okay. So let's look again at this case. When the humanized mice were injected with the pangolin COVID, they got here a late-stage brain infection and died. I love that they use the word surprisingly. Like, oh, we didn't know this would happen. We were just effing around. Surprisingly, all the mice were infected with the live virus succumbed to the infection within 7 to 8 days post-inoculation, rendering a mortality rate of 100%. The mice began to exhibit a decrease in body weight, starting from 5 days, reached a 10% decrease in the initial weight by day 6. By the 7th day, the mice displayed symptoms such as piloerection, hunched posture, sluggish movements, and their eyes turned white.
And this is what's getting ready to be happening to you people, all right? That zombie-like state that they talk about, the sores. People are getting ready to lose, man. But I wanted to play a little bit of this as well.
Disease X is imminent, they say. A whole new pandemic for a whole new year. Luckily, our friends at Davos, the WHO and world leaders are discussing a response. But are you not concerned that Disease X could be caused by a lab leak when it's possible that the previous pandemic was caused by a lab leak? Well, hopefully they're not doing crazy stuff with mouses all over the world right now. They are. Hello there, you awakening wonders. Thanks for joining me on our voyage to truth and freedom. As we continue to awaken together, we do need to form a resistance, a counterpunch to the attack on our freedom. As the WHO treaty means that your nation will be disempowered and you will be further disempowered as an individual, we need to organize together, become an awakened wonder, join our community if it's with.
And this is all controlled opposition, but they go into things. Again, the scriptures talks about how their own tongue will fall on themselves. But as you can see, there's a crazy agenda behind all of this stuff that's happening.
In your means. For surely disease X is something to be concerned about. Even when the legacy media report on it, they admit that the laboratory that's investigating vaccines are also developing chemical weapons.
The British government has unveiled a new vaccine research facility where scientists are working to prevent future pandemics. It's located at Porton Down, a high-security research facility best known for its work on chemical warfare.
Okay, now so those of you that are well-versed in this territory will be familiar with some of the ideas and theories about the evolution of certain medications, the funding for certain vaccines, the idea of dual-use facilities and dual-use research, and indeed the possibility that gain-of-function research itself led to the pandemic. It's the age-old chicken and egg question. What came first, the solution to the disease or the disease itself? And is it possible that that disease was caused by research into diseases of that?
Well, the scriptures talks about woe to him that decrees unrighteous decrees that they have prescribed. So we know that the way that they operate, they already have the solution. They bring the problem, all right? They get the reaction out of the people, all right? And then they have the solution in the form of what? Peace and safety. And it's all going to be centered around taking your rights away, all right? And you bowing to the image and eventually taking his charagma, okay? And pretty much they've been telling you that this X thing is coming. Okay, you don't think, Elon Musk naming Twitter X was a sign of this? And X has a lot of meaning, on the left-hand side. It can mean Tammuz, which is that false Messiah on the left-hand side, weeping for Tammuz, which means sprout of life, where it's dealing with idol worship and things that have nothing to do with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right?
Nature. Extraordinary. There's certainly some interesting patent information available that suggests the chronology is peculiar. In any event, the solution will be provided by world leaders at Davos. Davos is beginning.
Technocracy. Okay, they're going to have the ability to pass the laws. The laws are going to all be based in science and technology. And you as a human being won't have any civil liberties. You won't have a Bill of Rights. You won't have, rights in that day. Because in the next emergency, all right, there's a particular body of technocrats who are going to have the power. And Biden himself told you that. He said more science and less politics. That's what's coming. That's why his presidency, that he had that sigh. Okay? See them 3 lines? Okay, that is the Zai and Chi Sign Stigma, which is 666. Okay? And he's the president that's pretty much helping to forward the agenda of the elites. So, hey, and remember years ago, he said, you will vote on us, if people will walk around with charagmas inside of them. Okay? So he although he's a complete idiot and a loser, the Lord used him to bring about a lot of prophecy in the sense of the spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Okay, and the forwarding of the chaos that's going to eventually bring the order that they want. Okay? They're doing away with gender. Okay, to bring about a new human. That's what they're doing. Transhuman. Okay?
this week, and members of the WHO, whose treaty will further empower them and disempower your government, are talking with world leaders who have possibly passed through WEF-type schemes about what the solutions for the next pandemic will be. The last pandemic was preceded by exercises of preparation known as Event 201. As well as being someone that's interested in the potential nefarious undergirding of globalism, I do, in spite of what it might say under this video, in spite of the pop-ups that you might see while watching this video, care very deeply indeed about truth. And of course, what will rationally be said is there's just been a pandemic. Of course, we're preparing for other eventualities and future pandemics. And people make all sorts of curious arguments about why there are more pandemics. Oh, as rainforests are depleted, we're exposed to more creatures and more viruses and more diseases. People seem very reluctant.
All right, and you could, watch this video, Russell Brand. All right, so with this, we can very well be looking at, the next phase of their, establishing that NWO. All right, where, it's going to be another shutdown. Okay, and they're going to be telling you, you got to have this and you and that, Okay, we passed the first test. All right, now another test is upon us. And then comes another test, the hour of temptation. Okay. So again, we have he's on the prowl to get everybody to bow. Okay. Hold up. All right, because the elite know that the people are losing trust in the people that they've set up. All right, as the scriptures talks about, stand now with thine enchantments, and that's what that's what they're getting ready to do. They're getting ready to come with a big time enchantment. Okay. Antonio Gutierrez claims a reformed global body could repair the loss of faith in public institutions. All right, a global body. See that? People no longer trust their governments to tackle climate change, war, inequality. UN Secretary General Antonio Gutierrez has said, while Gutierrez views a reformed UN as the solution, okay, which who elects them? So this is nothing but the wicked being the wicked, all right, putting themselves in position to be the lawmakers, the rule makers. And when it's all said and done, they're going to have what they want. All right. But the Heavenly Father, pursuant to the book of Psalms, the 21st chapter, he's going to stop these devils, man. Okay. Addressing the WEF annual meeting in Davos on Wednesday, he opened by declaring climate change and the developmental of artificial intelligence to be the most serious threats to public trust in government. Okay, and that's what the climate change and AI. All right, that's going to be the answer to the fact that human beings are, overeating. It's too much to just track everything, and people are waking up to the plan that they have through the alternative media, the prophets, of course. It says, in the face of the serious, even existential threats posed by runaway climate chaos and runaway development of AI without guardrails, we seem powerless to act because everybody's going to rebel against it. These two issues, climate and AI, all right, which they're going to have to reinvent man in their image as a solution to put you on this grid to where, we can save the earth by tracking and tracing every damn thing and limiting and giving out only so much per month, making them God. See, they're going to use that climate, all right, talking point as a means to establish this order they want, to recreate man in their image, are exhaustively discussed by governments, by the media, by leaders here in Davos, and yet we have no effective global strategy to deal with either, he continued. Geopolitical divides are preventing us coming together around global solutions. Little wonder that people everywhere are losing faith in governments, institutions, and financial and economic systems. All right, then he goes to talk about something else. All right, well, the scriptures talks about when he was about to fill his belly. Let's get that. Let's see here. When he was about to fill his belly. This is Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, and every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, and we already showed you, we always show you that word wicked. Oh man, I'm all. I get out of here. Gotta get off of this. Laborer, sufferer, wretched one, workman. All right, the middle class is waking up to his ass. The worker, the working class, are going to rebel against him. All right, and you would think if he was wise, he would keep them in his good graces, but he's fucked over everybody. So in the fullness of his sufficiency, all right, in the midst of plenty, where he's going to try to heap unto himself all nations, when he's about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So the Lord is going to stop it, all right, by war, nuclear war. All right, the Heavenly Father is going to break up his plans. Let's get Psalms 21 and end this off. Oh my goodness. Psalms 21 and 9, thou shalt make them as a fiery oven, and in the time of thine anger the Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall, and in his fire shall he devour them. Their fruit shall thou destroy from off the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee, and imagined a mischievous device that they are not able to perform, man. And that's what we've been talking about. That mischievous device is recreating, man in his image and making a new world. Shalom.